They were doing so much extra, and that really just made my blood boil, because at that time there wasn't anything I can do, because I couldn't go up there, because once you go through TSA, I couldn't go straight, because as he was coming through it, I couldn't go through that line, and everything was too busy, so I couldn't really do anything about it except, you know, tell the chaperones I was with, and even they expressed their own disgust about it. And that just really made me think, wow, like that's something that happens so often, but it's never reported on websites, etc. But let that have been any other race getting racially profiled, I promise you it would have been everywhere. If that was me and they were double checking my stuff and asking me stupid stuff like, do I live in Chicago, or do I have a father, and stupid stereotypical things like that, trust me, it would have been on News Channel 5 like that, or on Fox 17.
So you find that this is quite prevalent. It's quite prevalent in terms of the denial in a real sense of people's constitutional rights.
It is.
Citizenship rights and whatnot. Is that what you're saying here?
It is, and that's why I feel like there are certain political candidates who do not encourage equality. I'm not going to go into name dropping or anything, but there are certain candidates that do not support equality, and I feel like, okay, right now the two top candidates are Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and that's just, you just really can't fight that. And I feel like, since I'm not old enough to vote, I'm just watching this unfold, and I'm not making any certain choice because my opinion wouldn't really be taken for anything because I can't vote. But I'm watching this unfold, and I'm listening to both of their speeches and all the things that they promised to do with America. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, wow, one of these candidates really wants an America that's built around him and people who are like him, that 1%. And I don't feel like you could really be a president if you don't think about other people, because running a country, you have to put others before yourself. You have millions of people who are looking up to you, who are abiding by your rules, and if you exclude them from some of the things, A, that's not right, and B, that's dangerous.
Alana, in your category and your age group, I know you're not old enough to vote yet, but do you find that there's any kind of sentiment in reference to what is going on from a social level, from a religious level, among the people that you meet every day? I mean, is there any recognition?
I see so many sentiment, not even just Islamic. I see so much sentiment towards me going to school from my peers, because I was blessed with a brain and I've put my brain to use. So I'm in a lot of extracurricular activities that are academic based. So I've been called things like, I've been told things like, I don't want to be black because all I do is hang around white kids, and I'm so white and things like that. But the last time I checked, I don't look that white.
So you think that in a real sense that there's quite a bit of really racism in a real sense among people of your age, and what are you doing to try to change that in order to make the world that we live in a better world? What are you doing, and what do you find that some of your peers can do?
You know, first of all, what I personally do is I don't feed into it. I'm not going to fight some ignorant child who comes up to me spurring and spitting out a bunch of racial slurs towards me, because that's not going to do anything but end in a fight, and that's just not what I'm about to do. First of all, I'll calmly ask them, why do you feel the way that you feel about that? And if they have sense enough to give me an answer, I'm not going to bash them for that answer, because they probably, because see, racism, you're not born racist, you're taught racism. If they're saying all that to me, they probably grew up in a household or a neighborhood where things like that were just common core. And so I asked them, say, let's make a mock conversation. You're so white, all you do is hang around white kids. Well, why do you think that I'm so white? Because all you do is hang around white kids. Well, it's not necessarily my fault. Say if I'm in a homeroom that's basically, in a lot of schools, they choose your classes by test scores. And so there will be, say, 6 teachers that have 2 advanced, 2 proficient, two basic, or a basic and a below basic. And so it is not my fault that in, say, a certain school, there are a lot of advanced students who just so happen not to be African American. That's not my doing, and I didn't ask for that to happen. And if I hang around all white kids, I just hang around my homeroom because those are the people that I know. And if if the majority of them happen to be white or German or Irish or just non-African American, then that explains why I have so many friends who are not African American, because that's not who I'm in class with. I have plenty of African American friends. I'm in plenty things where I'm with plenty of African American people. Like, for instance, when I went to the Junior National Young Leaders Conference, it was a melting pot full of people. Like, there were so many different races. We even had a girl from Germany come. Like, it was just an awesome thing, and I got to learn about so many different cultures, and it was just so eye-opening.
And so, Alana, today what you're saying here is that while there might be anti-sentiment, whether or not only against Islamic and et cetera, that you believe that everybody ought to try to practice not only love, but recognize that each person has the 13th, 14th, and the 15th Amendment rights, and that they ought to be free, and everybody ought to be equal. Is that what we're trying? Is that what you're trying?
Speaking of those, the 13th Amendment banned slavery. The 14th gave us citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, people need to go out and vote. Mm-hmm. It's voting season right now. That is the biggest thing I want to emphasize. If you are strong-willed and you want America to see the light of day, go out and vote, because